On December 18, 2022, the world was watching one of the most legendary World Cup finals in history. Argentina's squad was stacked, and leading the charge was the football icon, Lionel Messi. But amid the roar of fans and pressure of legacy, a 23-year-old from France stole the spotlight and made the entire Argentine squad break into sweat. He didn't just play football, he rewrote history in real time. Sometimes it's not about how long you've been in the game, it's about how badly you want to change it. And that's exactly what this young man did. You saw him receiving the Golden Boot Award, but did you notice his face? It wasn't the face of someone celebrating success. It was the expression of a warrior haunted by defeat. That's the thing about true obsession. It doesn't settle for second place. People don't just idolize Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, or Kylian Mbappé because of their skills. They worship them because of their passion, their obsession, their fire. As jaw-dropping as Mbappe's gameplay is, his backstory is even more intense. A story that doesn't just inspire, it shocks. Let's talk numbers first. Mbappé signed a 3-year deal with Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, worth around $630 million US. Here's the breakdown. Year 1, $69 million. Year 2, $80 million. Loyalty bonus for year 3, $90 million. That's not counting performance incentives or commercial endorsements. His total contract value, around $630 million. That's more than the GDP of some small nations. But here's what's unbelievable. This is the same kid who once stuffed socks into oversized shoes just so they wouldn't fall off while playing. He couldn't even afford proper gear. His father, Wilfried Mbappé, was a football coach, and his mother was a handball player. At times, they barely had enough for bread. There were days when 2 full meals were a luxury. You see, choosing sports isn't always glamorous. When you win, the world stands for you. But if you fail, there's no fallback. And that was the risk Mbappe's parents lived with every day. Still, Mbappé chose football, not because fate favored him, but because he favored himself. He believed in grit over luck, and people like that don't wait for opportunities, they create them. I believe true success is when the person you once idolized becomes your rival. And for Mbappé, that person was Cristiano Ronaldo. As a child, his room was filled with Ronaldo's posters. He would even talk to those posters, dreaming of the day he'd stand beside him on the pitch. He once promised himself that one day he'd play like Ronaldo, or better. And then came the day when Real Madrid invited him to train. He met Ronaldo, trained with him, dream unlocked. Mbappé kickstarted his professional journey at just 17 years old, scoring his first professional goal and becoming one of the youngest goal scorers ever. By 23, he had already turned the world of football upside down.
In the 2022 World Cup, he carried France on his shoulders to the finals, going head-to-head against Messi's Argentina and nearly stole the win. While Ronaldo took several matches to score across multiple tournaments, Mbappé scored 8 goals in that World Cup alone. He outpaced his idol, and the world noticed. After just 2 World Cup appearances, he had 12 World Cup goals, surpassing both Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi in the tournament's all-time scorers list. And then there's that one story, the one that defines his grit. At 14 years old, Chelsea invited him for a trial in London. He stunned everyone, showed mind-blowing skill, but the club wasn't sure. So they asked him to come for a second trial. But Mbappe's mother said something that stunned Chelsea. "My son won't come back for another trial. If you want him, sign him now. If not, in 5 years, you'll have to pay 50 million euros to get him." Chelsea passed. But a few years later, teams were lining up with 4 times that offer just to sign him. That's the difference between belief and doubt, between saying, maybe I can, and I know I will. So here's what I want to say. There will always be 1,000 reasons to quit. The world doesn't bow to talent. It bows to relentless effort, unshakable faith, and mad obsession. Kylian Mbappé isn't just a footballer. He's a symbol of what's possible when you stop waiting for chances and start creating your own legacy.